Hey guys, I've got a confession to make, and I believe that it's going to be a divisive one. Well, here it goes anyway. I have a soft spot for the sci-fi MMO Skyforge. In my opinion, it's a game that's just shy of greatness, and it still has so much going for it even after a few years. If you haven't played this game yet, you're missing out on one of the most ingenious MMOs ever. So my advice is that you give it a go right now. The download link's in the video description. We thank my.com for the support. Besides, there's a demon invasion going on at the moment. Who knows if you can ascend to divine form and save your people from this army of darkness. All right, allow me to gather my thoughts and return to where I was just a minute ago. Skyforge remains unique in many regards, escaping the tired fantasy cliches that most MMOs resort to since the dawn of online gaming. Featuring an accomplished and fresh assortment of ideas where realism, sci-fi, and fantasy blend together to create a visually and mechanically diverse game. It'll take you through many impressive scenes. It's the utter definition of a AAA game, one where you play as an immortal that slowly rises to become a god and protect planet Aelion from being invaded by hellish creatures and terrifying aliens time and time again. There's no rest for the wicked, and neither for virtual gods, it seems. The concept is downright amazing, and the execution is remarkable in most regards. Right off the bat, can you name any other big MMO where you turn into a god and use devastating powers in dungeons and open-world areas? There's another reason to get fans of the game excited. Skyforge has been available on PC, PS4, and Xbox One since its 2015 launch, and it's now coming fall 2020 to Switch. Nintendo's console isn't exactly known for its MMOs, and this is a game that's suited for short session-based gameplay, making it a perfect fit for the platform. The devs claim that the combat system was tailored to the use of the Joy-Con controllers, but you can also use a Nintendo Switch Pro controller if you have one at hand. There'll be some free items at launch for anyone who signs up right away, so don't waste any more time. If you want to play a great, free MMORPG on Switch, it's not just a matter of not having much to choose from. It's a pretty good game when it's all said and done. Anyways, I'm losing track of the topic here, which is the latest demon invasion. But I don't want to go there before mentioning another innovative feature of Skyforge. To call it groundbreaking, it might be stretching it a bit, although very few games manage to deliver something comparable in such a skillful and in-depth way. I'm talking about the class system, which goes far beyond the standard choice of one class that later opens up to 2 or 3 advancements. In Skyforge, you start by having access to 3 classes out of the 18 currently available, and gradually unlock additional intermediate and advanced classes. You can switch between your unlocked classes as you see fit, enabling you to pick your favorite approach according to the challenges that wait ahead. Progress is tied to your character, not to your class, with a progression system that never requires you to start from scratch in case you want to experiment the adventure with another class. And finally, back to the topic of the latest demon invasion. What are invasions in Skyforge? These are limited-time events where one of 6 alien races decide that the good people of Aelion are ripe for the taking. And I'm not entirely sure about it, but in my mind, it involves some sloppy and noisy feasting. Hey, I guess that's what decades of alien invasion movies do to you. Invasions typically run for about 8 weeks, with the leader rearing its ugly face, or faces, a few weeks in, after having its minions do most of the dirty work. To overcome the demon invasion, you must embark in solo and multiplayer adventures, group with other players to take down bosses in distortion and raid events, and tackle up to 4 region invasions. It's no easy task, not even for a god, or 2. That's one of the great things about Skyforge. It strikes a pleasant balance between fairly linear dungeons and medium-sized open-world areas. In the latter, you have all the freedom to tackle the objectives in the order that you prefer, exploring various regions that highlight the artistic mastery of the game. My favorite locations are the lush tropical areas with the bright colors and paradisiacal style, although the amount of dead bodies is making me seriously reconsider a vacation to this place. The 6 alien races that just love taking turns playing invaders are the Gorgonide, Mechanoid, Oceanid, Phytonide, Reaper, and Demon. As the name suggests, these are very different races with unique complexities and motivations. The Demon invaders aren't exactly the burning imps from the fiery pits of hell that we're used to witnessing in other games and movies. Instead, they are astral creatures, mostly with bluish tones and pointy limbs. Being an immortal isn't enough for you to stand up and fight the invaders. You must ascend into your divine form and unlock your full potential. This translates into completing the main story by liberating the 8 provinces of Aelion. Just look at the big guy from the Demon Invasion, who you shall know as Nihaz. His arrival on Aelion is scheduled for October 13th. Quite a sight, don't you think? With more tentacles than you can count, and 5 heads, and devilish tongues, and piercing fangs. It requires a full group of 5 characters to put up a fight, so don't even think about going in unprepared. This revolving globe of Aelion is where you check the ongoing invasion and the locations that are currently under attack. Pressing each one opens up the briefing to let you in on the possible rewards and type of operation. It could be an adventure comprised of several quests or a more straightforward mission. Joining the battle with a few friends is the wisest move, otherwise you'll most likely be overwhelmed by the opposing forces and resourceful bosses. During the Demon Invasion, you can complete seasonal challenges and unlock exclusive rewards. The list of tasks to achieve is considerable, meaning that most missions become almost natural and you fulfill them just by doing your own thing, or close enough. Being free to play, Skyforge offers an invasion pass that you can purchase in-game to earn up to 20 special rewards exclusive to this event. For what I could see, there's an exclusive costume called Revenant Armor, and the most appealing to me is the Shere Khan combat device. This is, in fact, a new type of combat mount, a mechanoid tiger that'll join you and battle by your side. If you choose not to purchase the Invasion Pass, you're still getting some free rewards, but the big ones won't be available to you. Speaking of costumes, let's browse some of the offers available to you, either by unlocking or purchasing in the store. Because, being a god is good, but doing it in style is much better. Female characters have some stylish armored costumes to wear, and there are other options that are way more, revealing, and more suited for a formal party than for battling invading aliens. This dress looks awfully uncomfortable for fighting, but hey, it does look good, so who am I to judge? If you prefer your characters to be gruff and totally alpha male, your looks will range from bulky to completely eccentric or surreal. But the models are overall extremely interesting. All that it takes is unlocking or purchasing some of them, and I've easily counted over 100 costumes. Quite impressive. When you reach Divine Form, you can pick from a few designs as well, and by now you surely know that a god must be feared and respected in equal measure. No, I'm not talking about this lightly. Skyforge does include a secondary progression system where you increase your number of followers in the cathedral in order to give you important boosts, providing you with divine augmentations. PvE in Skyforge can be done in solo or in groups, and at times when you're in the instances, the game almost feels like a dungeon crawler, Diablo-like, so to speak. There's some debate over this game being a true MMORPG or an online RPG, but no matter what you prefer to call it, Skyforge is fun. It's a beautiful game with tons of content. Obviously, a bit of a grind always comes with the territory, but that's to be expected from any online game since the genre was created decades ago, free or premium business model. PvP's not really my cup of tea, and this is usually where everyone complains about pay to win and all that jazz, but I've read opinions on both sides of the spectrum, so to each his own. I won't make any ill-informed judgment here. It's worth checking out the 18 classes and how they put an interesting spin in the traditional staples of the genre. This is noticeable in the weapon design and its application, with each class featuring a different approach to the action combat. The existing classes are the following: Alchemist, Lightbender, Grove Walker, Knight, Paladin, Cryomancer, Kinetic, Soundweaver, Firestarter, Necromancer, Warlock, Berserker, Monk, Revenant, Slayer, Archer, Gunner, and Outlaw. Classes are divided into support, defense, and attack roles, and as you may have noticed already, there is no gender lock in place, so you're free to pick between male or female, god or goddess. Combat in Skyforge is a mix of action and tab target. It doesn't let out for a second, and you have an assortment of skills that you must quickly learn to use. Furthermore, understanding your classes is crucial because some bosses will require you to do a bit of juggling and figure out which one is more adequate for the challenge at hand. It's a fun and fluid combat system that becomes even better thanks to the option to switch classes and take different approaches as you go. A final word goes to the game's graphics, which range from decent to fantastic. It's clear that Skyforge was in development for quite a while, judging by the work put forth by the development team. 5 years after its launch, it manages to rival and even surpass many recent releases in the genre, both in creativity and visual flair. And that's all I have to say about Skyforge for now. In 2020, it remains as an MMORPG, or online RPG if you prefer, that deserves at least to be played for a few hours. Pay no attention to the negative reviews complaining about grind and pay to win. There will always be someone saying the exact same thing about every game in the universe, ignoring the fact that a free game still needs to make some revenue to keep the servers running and staff working around the clock. The brilliant concept and clever class system are more than enough to earn Skyforge some praise, but there is a whole lot more to discover if you manage to become a god and thwart the invaders' plans. The download link is in the description. Have fun giving invaders hell.